All right, here's your quick review guide 2018 Iran test. Iran and Theocracy, Unit 4, Comparative Government. Talking about the Constitution of 1979. Again, the Constitution came about after the revolution that the Ayatollah led. It does not serve the individual, as guided towards Allah and follow that Sharia law and their religion, compared to the Constitution 1906, where it was modeled after Western constitutions. They had separation of powers, some Bill of Rights. 1979 does have some Bill of Rights, however, not always followed. President Khatami's policies was more a political liberalization there in the late 80s when the new Ayatollah took power, opened up the economy, freedom of speech and press. If you're looking at some of the powers of the supreme leader, the jurist guardianship that Fauji, leading jurists to interpret all the Sharia law, can eliminate some presidential candidates, dismiss the president, has a lot of appointment powers, commands the armed forces, declares war, and also does nominate some of the members to the Guardian Council, which then can eliminate candidates. Iran's government is different from many of the other because they base it off of religion. It's called theocracy. They are Shiite Muslims in Iran. Some of the influences, again, they're influenced by the religion. They're very anti-West due to the relationship with the Shah, the previous leader under Iran. In Iran, some of the women, they do get a lot of education. They are offered those educational opportunities. They do play a very small role in government. That's trying to change under Rouhani, but typically there are less women in the Majlis and play a small role in government. Individuals that are elected, so people directly elect the Majlis, which is their parliament, who makes the laws. The assembly of religious experts are elected, as well as the president. Mao's revolution in China is compared to Iran's revolution because they had a very charismatic leader and wanted to change society. Talked about that jurist guardianship. The Fauji, again, the clergy have the full authority over the entire Shia community in Iran. Their cultural revolution, the main idea was to get rid of all secular beliefs and secular ideas, those Western values, and base their values off of the Muslim teachings. If they did not do this, people did not follow, they were going to arrest them. They eliminated scholars and journalists. A lot of people left the country because of this. That was part of the Tehran Spring. Khatami allowed this, so it was a political liberalization. However, when Ahmadinejad came into power in 2005, he eliminated this by censoring press and the people. The Green Revolution then came about in 2009. This was after Ahmadinejad's election, which was probably rigged. There's voter fraud that was reported, and he used the Revolutionary Guards and the Bashi to eliminate some people and to prevent more movement. And the Ayatollah then promoted the idea that they should elect strictly conservatives to the Majlis. Some of the checks on the supreme leader is that the religious experts can dismiss the supreme leader, most likely won't happen. Compared to the Queen of England, the supreme leader is not a figurehead, does have some political powers. Again, the body makings or the policy makings in Iran are the Majlis. They make all the laws. However, the Guardian Council can look over those laws and interpret them and kind of declare whether or not they should allow them. The president of Iran is elected as the head of government, can sign treaties, develops a budget, appoints people to the cabinet, also appoints the vice president. Your Majlis is unicameral legislative body, makes the laws. They have 290 members, a single-member districts. They can change laws, enact laws, and they also approve 6 members to the Guardian Council. They can remove some of the president's cabinet members as well. In which governing bodies must a person be a cleric? So individuals that have to be a cleric are the Supreme Court because they interpret the Sharia law. The Guardian Council members have to be clerics, and the supreme leader has to be a cleric. The military, the role compared to China, again, helps make policy decisions. Theocracy is just your government ruled strictly by religion. Your Expedience Council, 32 members, all of them are appointed by your supreme leader. They referee different disputes between the Majlis and Guardian Council. So if they can't agree on a piece of legislation, they are the final say, and they usually side with the Guardian Council. A rentier state relies or derives a lot of their national revenue on the renting of a resource, and in this case, in Iran, would be oil. Political competition transparency. So candidates can be vetted. So the Guardian Council can get rid of candidates based on political affiliation or their views. Transparency. Media is controlled by the state. Can't speak out against the government. An authoritarian regime, again, is one leader, a small group of leaders who hold the power, and they limit civil liberties. In corporatism, a criticism is that people don't participate, so there's lax civil society and civil participation. The similarities between China and Russia's government structure. Both have legislative branches that are weak. Both have strong executive branches. Canon law is different from Sharia law because Sharia law down here is following God's law. It should be supreme. They kind of dictate everything. Canon law is not sacred based. They are statutes or laws created by the Majlis. However, they still cannot violate Sharia law. Whereas everything else, other laws must be based on Islamic criteria.